Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use the technique of substitution to reduce a differential equation to a simplified form so that we can find the general solution easily. So in this question, we need to show that the substitution w equals to xy squared reduces the differential equation as such to the form dw over dx equals to aw squared plus b. And we are then supposed to determine a and b and obtain the general solution in the form y squared equals to fx. Now very firstly, always start off with differentiating the given substitution. And do note over here that the w you see is not a constant as it involves the variables x and y. So let's use the product rule to help us differentiate w with respect to x. Now this gives us 2xy dy over dx plus y squared. Now if you're not sure how to continue, not to worry, always look back at the original statement to try and spot some similarities. Now we notice that there's a 2xy dy over dx here, so it'll be wise for us to make this the subject, which is equals to dw over dx minus y squared. Now this is where the magic begins. In the next step, substitute and simplify until only two variables remain, which in this case is w and y. So 2xy dy over dx is substituted by this expression, while the term over here is actually 4w squared, because the original term x squared y power 4 can be written as xy squared whole thing squared and giving us w squared. So let's simplify it to dw over dx is equals to 4w squared plus 1. Now looking back at this question again, by comparing, a is simply 4 while b is equals to 1. Now in step number 3, where we are also answering the second part of the question, let's try to obtain the general solution now by separating the variables. Now if you are not sure about how to do this separation of variables, do check out the video in the link below where I'll show you a guide on how to do that. Now by separating the variables, we are going to put w squared plus 1/4 on the left and leaving the 4 behind on the right hand side. Now I'm doing this because when we integrate both sides with respect to x, this expression over here will eventually give us a tangent inverse. Now on a side note, there are two clues to this. Firstly, it's a w squared and there's a plus over here, and this term is a constant. Now I've also provided a link below if you want to convert this particular format into a tangent inverse. Now coming back to this, when we integrate this expression with respect to x, we have 2 tangent inverse 2w equals to 4x plus c. The c is an arbitrary constant because this is an indefinite integral. Making tangent inverse the subject, we will have this expression over here. And I've basically converted c into d, where d is equals to c over 2, so that my working can be more elegant. Now 2w is simply tangent 2x plus d. Now don't just leave the answer like this, which brings us to the last step, step number 4, substitute the original variables back into the answer. Now the question requires us to express y squared as a function of x. I've basically replaced w with xy squared, and y squared can be found by dividing 2x on both sides of the equation, which is this expression over here. Therefore, this is the general solution of the differential equation. Now I do hope you have learned something from this video. If you have any questions or comments, do leave them down in the comments box below, and thank you so much for watching.